23 years ago, a dreaded Pakistani terrorist, Ilyas Kashmiri, stormed the Indian Army's Ashok listening post in Rajouri's Naushera sector. Kashmiri beheaded an Indian soldier named Bhau Sahab Maruti Talekar and took his head back to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. The barbaric militant raid wiped out the entire military post, killing 17 soldiers. Talekar's head was displayed as a trophy by Kashmiri in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, for which he earned a reward from dictator Musharraf. More than 3 decades later, a group of heavily armed terrorists ambushed Indian Army vehicles in Dera Ki Gali, around 70 kilometers from where Talekar was brutally murdered, and what followed has shaken the region. The ambush at Dera Ki Gali was not a routine hit-and-run terrorist attack, but it appeared to have been meticulously planned and executed. The terrorists chose a sharp bend on the road at Dhatyar Mode on Baflia's Thana Mandi Road, where vehicles slowed down. Once the 2 vehicles were within their range, the terrorists fired indiscriminately from dense forests. A report in PTI said that the firing followed hand-to-hand combat between the terrorists and soldiers. At least the bodies of 2 soldiers were mutilated. In total, 4 soldiers were killed and at least 3 others injured. The People's Anti-Fascist Front, an offshoot of the Jaish-e-Mohammed terror outfit, claimed responsibility for the attack on social websites. The PAFF also released several purported images of the attack on social media. Disturbing images and videos from the site showed blood on the street, broken helmets of soldiers, and shattered windscreens of army vehicles. All the militants involved in the attack are at large. What made matters worse for the army and the government is the deaths of 3 local civilians, allegedly due to torture in army custody. Rajouri and Poonch districts, spread over 4,304 square kilometers, are located south of Pir Panjal mountain range in Jammu and Kashmir. The region is dotted with dense forests, snow-capped mountains and countless caves. On one side to Rajouri and Poonch is the line of control that divides Jammu and Kashmir and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. On the other side lies the erstwhile militant hotbed of South Kashmir. The geography and the topography of the region have helped terrorists carry out some of the deadliest attacks in recent history in Jammu and Kashmir. Wednesday's attack was the 7th strike on the army since October 2021 in Rajouri and Poonch. A total of 34 army personnel have lost their lives, including 2 captains and 2 JCOs so far. 7 Hindu civilians were also killed in January this year. Hindustan Times has learned that the terrorists involved in Wednesday's attack had conducted a recce of the area around 2 months ago and deliberately chose Dhatyar Mode, the site of the attack. Security sources said that they were provided logistics by some of the locals. The Gujar population has previously played a key role in helping cleanse Rajouri and Poonch of foreign terrorists. They have actively aided the army, police and other security agencies in neutralizing terrorists, mostly Pakistanis. But for more than a year, there has been unease among the majority Gujar Muslim population in both Rajouri and Poonch. Experts say one of the reasons is the revival of village defense committees, a state-backed militia mostly comprising Hindu residents to fight terrorists. The government's move to include upper caste Pahadis in scheduled tribes has also riled up the Gujar and Bakarwal population of the region. Observers have also warned of the adverse impact of overall religious polarization in Jammu region on counter-insurgency operations in regions dominated by Gujar and Bakarwal tribes. Security experts are worried over the drying up of human intelligence. The 2003 ceasefire between India and Pakistan enabled the Indian Army to strengthen the counter-infiltration grid in Uri, Kupwara, Gurez, Handwara and other sectors that were traditional infiltration routes for militants. The northern regions of Kashmir are heavily militarized and under top-notch surveillance, hence making it difficult for militants to infiltrate. This is perhaps why the south of Pir Panjal has been chosen for terrorist infiltration by Pakistan-backed terrorist groups. In many instances, terrorists use Poonch and Rajouri routes to enter the Kashmir Valley. Perhaps there are some loopholes in the counter-infiltration grid that the terrorists are exploiting in the Pir Panjal region. According to defense sources, 30 Pakistani terrorists are believed to be active in Rajouri-Poonch belt, and many of them could be Afghan war veterans armed with sophisticated US-made weapons like the M4 carbine rifle. The Narendra Modi government's decision to strip Jammu and Kashmir of its special status and downgrade it into 2 union territories shocked neighbouring Pakistan and its deep state. In the aftermath of the Article 370 move, Kashmir Valley is being directly controlled by the union government. A perpetual crackdown on terrorists, separatists, and their sympathizers has virtually broken the back of militancy and separatism in Kashmir Valley. While militancy is not over and sporadic targeted killings and militant incidents do take place, the attacks have indeed reduced. Stone pelting is negligible and there is zero tolerance from the government for separatist politics. In the previous decade, the Jammu division, including Chenab Valley and Pir Panjal region, was largely militancy-free, something that former chief ministers of the erstwhile state are repeatedly saying. But after August 2019, while militancy-related incidents started to come down in Kashmir, attacks in Jammu region surged. Even in mainland areas like Jammu, Katra and Udhampur, there have been multiple IED and sticky bomb attacks. The ambush attacks in Rajouri and Poonch, one after another, have shaken the security setup. Police have on many occasions said that efforts are being made by Pakistan to revive militancy in areas like Doda, Kishtwar, Rajouri and Poonch, with the support of local militants who are currently based in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Recent reports citing unnamed Indian defense sources claim that Pakistan and China are collaborating to revive terrorist activity in the Poonch sector. This, the report said, is a bid to pressure the Indian army to redeploy troops from the Ladakh border back to Kashmir. India Today reported that this suspicion stems from India's redeployment of the Rashtriya Rifles, a specialized counter-insurgency force from Poonch to Ladakh in 2020. This move was crucial in bolstering India's position against China, but left Poonch with potentially fewer anti-terror resources. The Indian army has neither confirmed nor denied the reports. Calls are mounting for an all-out operation against terrorists hiding in Rajouri and Poonch sectors. Many have called for another Operation Sarp Vinash. The counter-terrorism operation, meaning Destroy Serpents, was carried out in 4 phases from January to May 2003 in Poonch. It is estimated that up to 100 terrorists who were in and around the Hilkaka hideout spread out into the forest when special forces struck in the initial raid. Altogether, around 50 to 60 terrorists were killed against a loss of 4 soldiers and injuries to 2 for India. Substantial weapon recoveries were also made. The security situation south of the Pir Panjal is grim. A new war theatre has emerged, and challenges for the security setup are only mounting.